Good morning, Apple Scruffs. Now, while it may not actually be morning when you're watching this video, the fact that you're here probably means that you, like me, are a big fan of Breakfast with the Beatles with Chris Carter. And if that's the case, and you probably know, Breakfast with the Beatles is America's longest running Beatles radio show. And how long has it been running? Well, 2023 is actually the 40th anniversary year of Breakfast with the Beatles. Our favorite Beatles radio show was launched in 1983 in Los Angeles by the legendary Deirdre O'Donoghue and has been on the airwaves for 40 years. Not only on terrestrial radio in LA every Sunday morning on 95.5 KLOS FM, but also, of course, on satellite radio every weekday morning on Sirius XM's The Beatles channel. That's right, 2023 is Breakfast with the Beatles' 40th anniversary year, and we all think it's high time that the show and its host of over 20 years, Chris Carter, be inducted in the Radio Hall of Fame. So we are saying to the nominating committee that we've got to get Breakfast with the Beatles into the Radio Hall of Fame for every single day of its 40-year life. Let's review the simple steps you can take to help get Breakfast with the Beatles the recognition that it deserves. The first stage of this campaign is to nominate Chris and the show to the Radio Hall of Fame. Go to the website www.radiohalloffame.com. It will open on the Nominate Now page. Click on the More Info button. This will take you to the nomination page. Notice that not only can radio industry members submit suggestions, but also listeners like us. Scroll down to the fillable form. The first section, titled Personality Information, has 3 parts. First is name of personality. In the box labeled first name, put Chris. In the box labeled last name, put Carter. In the radio program name box, put Breakfast with the Beatles with Chris Carter. The last box in this section is titled Brief Bio of Personality. This is where you, the listener, will explain why you personally think Breakfast with the Beatles should be inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. This section will have a great impact if you put your reasons in your own words, and be sure to stay under the 500-word limit. The second section is titled Your Information. This is where you put your first and last names in the boxes titled Submitted By. In the next box, Industry Affiliation, put Breakfast with the Beatles with Chris Carter, Listener. Next, please put in a good complete email address and phone number in the marked boxes. Finally, click the Submit button. Thanks for your nomination. Please submit only one nomination, but share this video on social media to encourage other listeners to nominate the show as well. Nominations close March 31st, so don't be slow. Make like the Beatles and go, Scruffs, go.